Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. We are here for another Tim Holtz Tuesday. We're going to be working a little bit more on things that we're going to be using and the little journals that I did. We finished these up last time and I don't think I did that much more to them. I added a little bit of texture here with a piece of this rusted trim, and then a little bit more here. I think that was already there. And then I added this right here and the little Tim Holtz tape and a little trim. And I think that's all I did. So that's where we left it. And so what I wanted to do now is we're going to start making things to put in it and decorating things and things like that. But I want to make something like an insert to put in here. And it's, you know, it's I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet, but I do know that I want to put an insert in these. So what I decided to do is Tim Holtz makes something that's called an accordion folio, and I bought one, even though I thought for sure that I could probably figure it out, but I bought one because I wanted the kind of exact measurements and I wanted to duplicate it as much as I could. Quite honestly, because I thought I could make it one similar. Okay, and I'm going to show you that process that I'm going through. This is really a craft and chat, not so much a tutorial. So if you don't like the talking and the pace of it, you may want to speed through it, or you know, go to the end or something like that, because that's kind of the process that we're going through here. But it is going to be kind of a craft and chat. Okay, so I will try and, you know, get as much in as I can and get right to it, but, you know, it's still going to be a little bit slower pace. And for some people, there may be some things that are kind of self-explanatory, but others, you know, they're new and it may not be. So it might be useful for them. So just skip through those parts. Anyway, this is the accordion folio, and let me show you what it looks like. It looks like it's made out of manila file folder, only it's really, the dimensions are such that they won't be, but I've marked all over this, so you're not going to be able to. Okay, so this is kind of how it is. It has a little spine here and a spine here, and it opens up. It's got a little flippy thing on this side. And then on this side, it's got another one. I think it's really supposed to go like that. I got it backwards. And, I mean, then this part folds down, or it could fold over. And then you've got this other part here that comes out like an accordion. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. You can, you know, see that it's got a lot going on. So, and you could add a lot to this, but I'm going to make one that's similar, and I thought that we would decorate it up, and I am using just some file folders that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I like them because they're not very thick. They're a little flimsy, and you definitely, these are legal size. You don't have to use legal size because honestly, you're using this part right here. So just a shorter file folder, you're still going to have the same, because you have more length, you have more here than you do this way. But it doesn't really matter because honestly, you could use it either way. So we're not going to be able to make it exact because these are not actually wide enough to do that, but we're going to make it very similar. So first off, what I did is I took all the measurements, okay, and I will tell you what they are as we go, and that way if you don't want to go through the trouble of buying it and you just want to make it at home and go straight to that, you can. The first issue that you have when you make this is that if you fold it out all the way, it is almost 19 inches. So the file folder at its biggest width is not going to be wide enough to do that. It's going to go, not quite 18 inches, and it's not even that. That's just, you know, really if you cut off these edges, it's not that wide. It's probably going to be closer to 16 inches. So what I did is I actually did it, I measured it from here, everything but this little last piece right here. So that was approximately 15 inches is what you need, okay? So what I did is that I just took my file folder and I cut off all the other edges, the little, all this, and I've got, I think I have more than that. I have, let's see here. I've got a little over 16 inches, okay? And I need to do this, I believe it is, I need 16 inches the width-wise, and then 9.5 inches this way, okay? Because this is our tallest point, okay? So let's do, yeah, oh, 15 inches, I'm sorry, 15 by 9.5. I thought it was 15, because I thought I had to cut this down. Okay, so my cutter is only going to go out to 12 inches, but I know that, you know, I can look at this and let's see, we have 7 and 7 is 14. So if I go 7.5 and 7.5, that's 15 inches. So I'm measuring this at 7.5. Okay, that gives me my 15 inches. That's going to be 15 inches right there, right? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 9.5 inches this way. Okay, so I know I have that. Let me see. I'm going to go right to 9.5. All right, so now we have the size that we need. Of course, there's going to be some cutting down, so we'll be doing that too. All right, so then what we're going to do is we are going to we have to, let me see, I didn't measure that part yet. We have to figure out, now we're not using this part right here, okay? So what we have to do is we're going to have to go in on this, because this is basically, this is this right here. This is all of this right here, okay? This is this part, okay? So that is that. Let me show you what it looks like without this in the way. That's basically this, okay? So now what we need to do is we are going to, and I'm just going to mark it, see if I can get it in there good, but I can definitely measure it. And I'm going to give you those measurements because I think you will want them. Go like there. Go right there. Okay, so we're going to go down. Let me see here. I think we are going to go down. Is it 3.5? Yeah, looks like it. 3.5 inches. And we're going to cut it, okay? And we're going to cut it all the way. Or we're going to mark it, and then we're going to cut it. Let's see, where are we going to cut? Oops, I moved it. I'll try and keep it lined up. We are going to, it looks like it's going to be a little over 6 inches. So it's just about 6 1/4. I would say 6 1/4. 6 1, oh, I did half. I don't know what I was thinking. 6 1/4, which is right here. And this side is going to be 4 and, oh, is that right? 4 3/4. Okay. So we have 4 3/4 and 6 1/4, and we're going to go down 3 inches. So basically, I mean, what you're doing is we're going to take, oh, I didn't mark this. I wanted to mark it to make sure I don't do it backwards. Okay, there we go. All right. So, what we're going to do is we are going to go take our cutter. Part of it fell apart. I don't know why that I was on that one foot. I probably just need to glue it on there. Okay, so let's go. We're going to make sure we're down 4 3/4. Okay, so we're going to go 3 inches down, okay? At 4 3/4. Okay, let me see if I can get 4 3/4 this way and then 3 inches this way. So 4 3/4. It's just weird on my thing where it is. It's for me to tell where it is, actually. That's why I marked it. So I don't know if that is 4 3/4. Yeah, I guess that is. So hard to tell on my little. It's right where it folds, so it gets it kind of weird. I think I'm going to go right. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm going to go down. That is where I'm going to be cutting it, okay? And I marked, I should have probably done this first. I'm going to go down 3 inches from here. So I have to do, let's see, 3 inches this way. And I actually could do both of them at the same time, but I can't go down all the way. Okay, so I'm going to go 3 inches to that mark. Yeah, okay, well, it's not going to work. Go 3 inches here. That doesn't seem right. Oh, 3.5. Okay, I read my measurement wrong. There we go. So 3.5 inches down, right? And I don't want to go as far on that. Okay, I'm just going a little bit just to kind of make sure I don't go too far on the other one. Okay, so I haven't done that all the way on there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out my, and you could just do this with a ruler and draw it and cut it out. I just am not very good at cutting, so okay, so that is almost all the way out. So that is my 4 3/4 piece. I'm going to go down with this a little bit because I don't want to. Let me get that right there. And as I said, you could just measure this and then cut it out with the scissors all the way and, you know, use your ruler or whatever, but I can't cut straight, so I did it with my cutter. Oh, let me get right in there and cut that straight. Okay, so we cut those two pieces out, all right, and I would save those because we're going to be making other stuff with it later. Okay, so after we do that, we basically have this, okay? We have this piece right here, okay? That's all we have. We have that. We don't have this right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to score this to how we need it before we add the other piece on. So that is going to take my scoreboard. Again, you could do this with a ruler and just a dull pen or something like that, but I have a scoreboard, so I'm going to use it. So the way that we have to score this is, I put the score marks on here. Okay, so we have to, let me fold it out so you can see. We are going to go from here to here. I have my scoreboard weird. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go, and I had done this differently before, but I'm not going to do it that way. erase that. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go, because we don't have this part on, put that on the edge. And we're going to go from here to here, and that is 4 inches. So, well, my pencil's not working. 4 inches. Okay. Try it again. 4 inches. And then we're going to go 4 1/2. And then, okay. Then we're going to go at 9 inches. And then we're going to go at 9 1/2. And then that isn't going to work because we won't have enough on there. So we'll do that. So we're going to go ahead and go here. And this is our, make sure we're doing it on the right one. Go that way. Because there's a long side and a short side. So, alright, so this is, yeah, okay, that's right. Alrighty. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to go 4 inches. And then we're going to go 4 1/2. All right. And then we're going to go at 9 inches. And then we're going to go at 9 1/2. All right. And then we're going to take this, and that is going to be basically, this is our 9 1/2 mark right here. All right. And then that is at 2 inches, I believe. Let me see. Let me measure before I do it, just to make sure. Yeah. So from here, that is 2 inches. Okay, good. So on your long side, so you've done it, this is everything you've scored, I just did, is on the short side. And on the long side that you have, you're going to go 2 inches. And I know this seems like a lot, but I would, if you get confused, just replay the video. And all the measurements are in there. So, okay. So that's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. Okay, so those are those end pieces. And then this is going to go like that. This is going to go like that. And then this is the other part that folds in. And then this, we have to score, what was it, right? 2 times. And we're going to score that. I didn't measure that one, but we'll measure it real quick. So that is probably a 1/2 inch, I'm sure. Yeah, it looks like it is. So that is, okay, right at the edge, and we'll do a 1/2 inch. So this is going to be, you could probably fold that and be fine. Okay. Here's your bone folder right at the top. Okay. And then you just want to score it at a 1/2 inch, because all you're doing, and it might be easy, well, I don't know. It's kind of awkward to put that in there, but basically you're scoring it at a 1/2 inch just so it has a little bit of a room that if you put bulky items in there, and I probably would not do it that way, but here we go. So then that's a 1/2 inch. So there we go. All right, so that's a 1/2 inch. So now we have everything basically the same, except we don't have this little piece on right here, which this is 3 3/4. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to 3 3/4. What did I say it was? 3 3/4. So I want to score this at 3 3/4. That gives me this right here. So we're going 3 3/4. And this is going to end up being our little flap right here, okay? And of course that thing was slanted, so we have to do that. But this is going to end up going right here, okay? And that's what's going to attach it on here. But this part is 2 inches and it goes down. So what we need to do is right at 2 inches. And I know there's a lot of measurements here, guys, but you're just going to have to, like I said, go back and replay it if you need them all. I'm scoring this at 2 inches from the top. And what I'm going to do is, in order to make this little slant part here, okay, so this is going to go here, and I mark the 2 inches on the wrong side. The 2 inches has to go on this side, not on the part with the fold, but the other part, okay? So not on the folded part, but on this part. You want to mark it at 2 inches, okay? That's right there, because that's how big that is. And then you want to take that part and you want to just go take your ruler and go from that little part right there at 2 inches, right at 2 inches, and go right to that corner. Go all the way to the edge and just go like that. Okay. Well, my didn't work. My pencil keeps breaking. But anyway, then you can just take your scissors or you can take your cutter, whatever you want to do, and go from edge to edge, okay? And, all right. And what that does is that makes your little thingy that's going to go right there, okay? So that is going to attach to this right here. Now you can put it on the outside, you can put it on the inside, it doesn't really matter. And that just goes right there. Okay, and then that way, at this point, you have this part of the whole little thing is pretty much identical to this. And this is a little heavier cardstock, but I like that because I'm going to be covering a lot of this up. So this works out, I mean, pretty much the same. And you will never know the difference that, you know, that you've basically, you know what I mean? As far as this, I think the way it goes is the short one goes out there. And that's, I think, how that one goes too. Like that. And there you go. So we've made that portion of it. All right. So now let's go ahead and do the inside, which is this piece. And again, we're kind of in a situation where we're not going to have a long enough piece. So we're going to need to piece it together. We went ahead and we did 12 inches to this point right here. Okay, so this is 12 inches, I believe. Yep. So you want to go 12 inches by 5 inches will be your first piece that you're going to need. Let me get my cutter out. Okay. So I'm trying to get 12 inches. And I know I have that here. So let's get right at 12 inches. Right? And then I need it by 5 inches. So we're going to go 5 inches this way. Okay. Okay, so on this, it's 12 inches and this is 8 inches. So we really need to go 8.5, okay, on this piece. So that's so we have somewhere to a way to attach it. So we're going to go 8.5. Okay, and then it seemed like I didn't measure that right. Oh, it's about right. 8.5. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to just take my scoreboard out, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to probably just do it on the part that's already scored a little bit. We're just going to go in 8 inches. I'll do it on that end. So we're going to go right at 8 inches because we know the rest of it we're just going to use to score, and we're going to put that on there, fold it, okay? And then I'm going to attach this to the other piece. Okay, so that piece is going to go onto here, okay, because they're both 5 inches. Doesn't really matter where, because we're going to end up scoring all this stuff anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this on there. Probably just use this one, you know, and get them even if you can. Alright, so now that we've done that, there is some scoring we need to do. And a little bit of cutting, but it's not that hard. Okay, so we are going to take our piece that's the 5 inches all the way across, okay? And we're going to go ahead. This should be, look, if you look, this is the same length now as this one, okay? Here it is. But we don't have, now, you know, if you had one, you could cut it. And you wouldn't even have to do all this. But I'm doing this so that you don't have to purchase this if you don't want to, okay? So, so now we're going to score it where we need to score it, okay? And that is at, okay, 4 inches. So we're going to go 4 inches. Okay. All right. They're all scored 4 inches apart. So we're going to do that. And then I fold it in. Okay. And then I'm going to go, my next score line is another 4 inches, or you can just use this to go down and score, but I'm going to use my scoreboard so it's nice and straight, and then I'm going to fold it. Okay. And then I'm going to do it again at 4 inches. And again, you can do this with a ruler. Now this one's on the one that we added on, but that's okay, it'll still work. Okay, so that's that. And we're going to fold that. And we're going to go another 4 inches. Get that up there nice and tight. Okay. And that's the last one. All right. So those are all of our, they're all 4 inches. So they should, you know, match up pretty well to where they'll go right into each other. It's actually going to be an accordion. So that'll go like that. Okay. So that's how it's going to go. Now here's the part that becomes interesting, is that we need to mark these, okay, at different heights, okay? This is 5 inches here, and then at this line we have to mark it at 4.5. So we're going to take our ruler and we're going to go up 4.5 inches, okay? And let's just go here. Here on each score line we're going to do stuff. Okay, so this is 4.5 inches. We're going to go right here. And then at the next one we're going to go, so the next one is going to be 4 inches. So we will do that right at 4 inches. Okay. And then the next one is going to be 3 3/4. So we'll go 3 3/4. 1, 2, 3. And then the next one will be at 3.5. Okay. So that's at 3.5. And then the next one is at 3 inches. Okay. Make sure I did that 3.5 right. Yeah, it's a little off. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we are going to take our ruler and we're going to just go from the corner of this to that right here. Okay, and then we're going to hit the next one. We're going to try and stay at a nice straight little line. Oh boy, it would help if my pencil worked. Okay, and there to there. And you can just kind of line them all up and go to dot to dot. Okay. Gosh, I gotta get a different pencil. It keeps breaking. And go down. Let's see if I can get it to go. Go. I don't know if it's angling enough as it should. Yep, there we go. Okay. Anyway, at that point, what you do is you just cut your line. Okay. You're just connect the dots, and you can just cut it all the way across. Okay, and then that is going to just simply go like that, and so that you've made the insert part now. Okay, and that is going to be, where's the rest of our little folder that we made? That is going to be in here, so that will make the inside part. So that is it, guys. That is the whole process, because that is what this is right here. Okay, so you have just duplicated that. I did mine. Okay, I think that's going that way. You can always change it to go this way if you want it to go just like that. So it'll go just like the other one did. So that is that, and that is your insert. So that will go like that. That'll go like that. This will go like that. I believe the short one goes on the outside, and that is pretty much the same thing. So I am going to kind of leave it at that. I don't think we're going to have time to do the other portion of what we're going to do. We'll do that for another day. And that's it, guys. That's all I have. What you can do, I did want to bring this up, is if you wanted to, you could do everything that I did, and use just the actual Tim Holtz paper, so then you don't have to cover it. You know, like here, the only problem you're going to have is this middle part right here. There's really no way to do this without piecing it together to where you're adding several different pieces, and that's okay. That's totally doable. If you don't want to, because like if I want to cover this now, then I would put these pieces in here, and that's okay with me because I'm going to be adding a lot of different things to it. But you really want to think about, you could do the whole thing with just, because this is two-sided paper, you could just do it with that. And then just kind of piece it together and use the measurements that I gave you to kind of do it, to where it works for you. Okay? Anyway, that's it. And the next time we come, I will have them kind of decorated up, and we'll add a few things to it and we'll put it in. And what I also want to do is Tim Holtz has these little inserts that you can put in, and I want to kind of go over how you make those. They're not that hard. I'll do it really quickly, and we'll decorate that insert just so that I can show you that these are really easy to make. There's a lot of different ways you can make them, and you know, use them in your journal. Okay, so that's all I have for today, and I'll see you guys again next time. So take care.